Hello, I'm Madani Aryam. This is my podcast. How will you deal with many failures? When you fail all the time, how will you do? How will you deal with many failures? Failing in life is common, and people talking bad about you are another person who hung your face. The joint accusation is others look at you as a time waster besides wasting money in their view. It is the general opinion about you that other people around you build. Not every day is the same in life, and not everyone sees victory. So that should not stop anyone from trying anything to build a better life, better future. You have consistently failed in your life, making you a laughing stock for others. But remember, you might have passed the age of becoming successful. That does not mean you must forget everything and live a sad life. I fully agree with everyone who says that an older man, older mom, or dad should devote her, or her life to the family. It is a widely accepted thing that family comes first for anyone. However, you can do something during your free time to recover from the wounds of failures. Many failures for many reasons. You might be an ambitious person, but you live a life with many failures due to many reasons. So now you have concluded that you are a failure, that wounded accepted forever in that sense. Therefore, when you get a mindset to do something during your free time, start valuable something to you and others who will feel that your work has helped them. Someone who expects you to give up everything you do and concentrate on them is not a good idea. It is entirely out of order for people to expect you to be a slave to them without making you a happier person in your own way. It is now the time for me to talk about my past life. I was a failure as well, but that said, in addition, I achieved something in my pure life because of my father. If not for him, I would not be writing this today. He loved education, so my duty was to make him happy. I still remember the day I saw his face when he opened the letter from my examination board, but I have many regrets other than that for not caring for his old age. In addition, I did not live near him. That was one of the reasons. A failure may not be entirely their mistake. Others should give them the slightest support to comfort them. Instead, more people out there tend to underrate them all the time. If individuals do not make enough effort to improve themselves, they blame others. How do you deal with failing all the time? Then, on the other hand, they tend to keep away from people who are well off in their lives. Sadly, that is a normal in anyone's life. They keep away because they do not want to feel low amongst others. But the right thing for someone to do is to make them feel better by how the well off person behaves in their circle. Life is so difficult for others, for elders, to bring others together without showing many differences. We must understand that failures do not always stay as failures. People try their best to overcome those circumstances and earn themselves at some point. Do people change if they start to see success after long struggles in most of their lives? If they change like that, I will say they are heading for trouble again. They would have faced failures because of their wrongdoings. Therefore, they must change some bad habits forever if that is the case. If a person were a lousy spender. You would have to change that habit, as you do not want to go into difficulties again. People must change themselves in many ways to succeed and maintain that success. Why do some conclude a person will never succeed in life? Consider many of them, I will never be successful in my life as I have passed that age. Is it that an actual older person, when starting something new at a later stage, will never become successful? What could be the reason for it? Let me write some points here. Lack of thinking power and understanding, not very organized, not enough strength to handle difficult situations. It may be due to some illnesses, too scared to spend money, lack of collaboration. The above may be accurate, but how we say that applies to each adult who wants to start some new business at an older age. So, how can they overcome these hindrances when starting a small business at an old age? For anyone to succeed, everything depends on their mindsets, like willingness to do, passion, and determination. Therefore, if you have the right attitude, you can become anything to achieve your goal, whether too young or too old. Never listen to others. People like to pass on their negative thoughts to you. For example, when I was learning to drive, I used to hear from my partner that I would never pass the driving test. But I never listened to that for a second. But I continued. Of course, I found it difficult, but I passed after about few attempts. Likewise, I'm in business now. I hear negativity constantly. I know my close ones, they think I will never be successful. Besides, I have not seen an enormous success, but I am still working hard towards success. But I will never show my hard work to those who consistently show negativity. Luckily, I'm a person who will never take this negativity seriously and continue to pursue my desire on my own with the hope that I will see a big success one day. So, everybody who is running a business will have to believe in themselves that they will see the success one day. Without listening to other people's opinion, keep away from the negative people. Thank you very much for listening to my podcast. Thank you. Bye for now.